My counselor pointed something really amazing out to me today, and I want to talk about it a little bit. My entire life, especially in the in my recent life, my mom is a nurse. She's incredible. I love having a nurse as my mother. It's the most amazing thing ever. But I tend to, whenever I notice even the most subtle shift in my body, immediately call her and ask her, Mom, I feel this. What does it mean? Every time. Every single time. The other day I had an issue with my ear where it just felt a little bit weird and it was hurting a little bit. And I called her and I said, Mom, am I going deaf? And she was like, no, just give it until the morning and see. And I was like freaking out because it was really annoying and I was being so crazy about it. And guess what? I woke up in the morning and it was totally fine. So I was realizing that I have this pattern of I always like to know the why to everything, not just the physical things, but the mental things. And this is what I was talking to my counselor today about, is that I tend to try and know the why to everything. I want answers and I want them quick. And I always feel like I have to be in control of that. And I learned that causes a lot of issues. I used to get in arguments with my mom like crazy because we would be having a conversation. She would say something that I didn't agree with, and I needed to get to the bottom of it to understand why she felt that way. And I needed to convince her that I was right. Or not that I was right, but I just needed her to understand me. I needed to know. I needed to have an answer, and I needed to have it quick. Or things like if I found a pair of pants or something that I really wanted, I'd be asking her, I'd be like, Mom, is this a good purchase? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? And she'd be like, well, give it a day and see. Do you really feel like you want it? After a few days, does it really feel like you still want it? And I would be like, no, Mom, like, I can't do that. Like, I couldn't explain to her why I could not do that. Like, I could not wait. I needed to know in that answer, in that moment, because otherwise it just gave me so much anxiety. Like, I needed to know. And I do that with a lot of things. And that's what my counselor pointed out, is that I tend to have this feeling, and I think all of us do to an extent. And I think that I'm probably lucky compared to a lot of people, but I also know that I struggle with it compared to a lot of people. And it's that I tend to want to know the why behind everything. And I want to have answers quick, and I want to feel like I'm in control. And it wasn't until recently when someone pointed this out to me that I realized that it's not just that's a normal thing, but it's something that, oh, hey, I should work on it. I should really work on that. I mean, that is honestly why I am a STEM major, is because I love knowing the why to everything. That is why I love math. That is why I love math, because I will sit down for 4 hours and work on one math problem if it means finding the answer. I love it. I love that problem solving and feeling like I'm in control. And it's making so much more sense to me. So in those moments, some of the things that I've realized and some of the things that I'm learning, and something that I know I'm going to continue learning, and I want to make this almost like a series, maybe. I don't know how I will do that, but I think that it's something that this is a journey I'm learning, and I really want to share it with you guys, is that I'm learning that I need to sometimes take a step back from things. Sometimes there are situations where they're uncomfortable, and I don't need to get them figured out in the moment. I ruminate a lot. I am always thinking. I'm always trying to figure stuff out. But when it comes to that situation with other people, it can really hurt people if I'm pushing them. Not everyone processes things the same way that I do. In fact, a lot of people don't, because I know that I'm a huge thinker and not everyone can mentally process that. Like, I'm a lot for a lot of people. And I'm realizing that it's time for me to take a step back. It's time for me to learn that in a moment like that, when I want to keep pushing and having an answer, sometimes I need to just be able to learn how to be uncomfortable and to let time take its course. Because in almost every single one of those situations, time has solved it on its own. It's a lot of situations where I'm worrying about the future or an outcome of something, and I realize, wait a second. All I need to do is wait. Like, let me go distract myself, and time will figure it out. There are so many things where I've had to make a big decision, and I had no idea, and I feel like I need to make it then, even though I don't have a deadline until maybe a month later. But I think it's not going to get better, so I might as well just try and force myself to make a decision now. Well, then I get distracted by something. I work on it. I forget about it. And when it comes time to make that decision, I already know what the answer is. And that's been really hard for me, and I know it's going to continue to be hard for me, but it's a little bit of what I've learned right now, and I really wanted to share that with people. I really wanted to tell you that if you experience the same thing, you're not alone. It's a hard journey. I get so frustrated sometimes because of it, because I just want to have everything figured out, you guys. But that's not the way that life works. And I'm learning that, and I'm learning to try and embrace it. And I wanted to share that. I know for me, I've always appreciated it when people can share those types of moments. Like, if you guys are listening to this podcast and are enjoying it, I would say you have to listen to Glennon Doyle's podcast, We Can Do Hard Things, because she does the same exact type of things in there. They have conversations, and she's not afraid to show her true self of the fact that she struggles with a lot of mental processes and a lot of emotional processing, like we all do, but she doesn't hide it. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Is I don't want to hide it. I don't want to make it seem like my life is perfect and I have everything figured out, because you guys, I have nothing figured out. And as hard as that can be, I've learned to find that there is beauty in it. So there's my little ramble, I guess, of the week. You're not alone. And try to learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable moments. We can do it together.